When?
Nice. Thank you, boys.
Ooh.
Woo! Oh. Welcome to SUI.
Mitch?
And we are joined today by our special guest, Adrian. Adrian, tell us about yourself, won't you?
Hi, I do science sometimes, and that's it.
And that's the entire criteria for us getting a guest on this show.
Do you do a science?
Yes,
Yeah.
I do.
Yeah, that's it. And if you do science, you've made it. Before we start the show properly today, I think Mitch and I should have a chat about everything leading up to this point, because to get to this point, it's been almost like a year-long journey to get to this point, filled with just a lot of alcoholism and confusion.
Yeah.
We came up with the idea for the idea for this show, the premise for this show, around a year ago now, or maybe half a year ago, while we were recording a different, much more dramatic and time-consuming podcast in which we had to remain sober. And when we took, essentially, we'll call it like a season 0 of a process diary of episodes, trying to figure out exactly what we wanted to get out of this podcast and what we want to present to you guys, the listeners and audience. By the time that this episode gets released, hopefully we'll also have released that entire season 0, that process diary that got us to the point where we are now. But putting it as simply as possible, we are going to get drunk and talk science.
Yeah.
In a variety of ways, right? Yeah, thanks, Adrian. Adrian's been with us since the start. This man has copped more for his liver
It's
than
been terrible.
anyone else to get to this point. And I think we should mention, for the purpose of the process diary, we refer to this show as Drunk Science, just because we were still figuring out a better name for it. And that's what you're going to hear it be called in season 0, but we've now come up with a better name for it. And also, we have some friends in America who have also gone with this name for a podcast.
We got scooped.
Yeah.
What Henry's trying to say in a really roundabout way is that we got scooped on the name.
No.
We came up with it a while ago and it wasn't registered by anybody, but congratulations, people I can't remember in America.
That's
well
it.
done.
We mean no malice. Our show
Great
is
podcast
quite
name.
different to you guys.
Yeah.
But we're
Go
not
at
going to
it.
mention that
What-
name.
I mean, theirs is probably better.
It's probably better, but we're not gonna mention their name.
No.
This is Science Under the Influence.
Yeah.
That's what this is. And we start, as we always will, with our first segment, headlines.
Hey.
Yeah, the premise of this, pretty simple but very effective in terms of getting us heavily intoxicated.
Simple yet effective.
Yeah, right? Going clockwise, we're each going to offer 3 headlines, one at a time, from the last year in science. The headlines have to be either word for word accurate or absolutely false. The other 2 contestants must guess whether the headline is true or false, and after the answer has been revealed, the person providing the headline can choose to elaborate just a little further into the story if they want to. Make sense? Each time a headline's validity is guessed correctly, the person who offered the headline loses a point and takes a shot. Right? So there is potential for you in one headline to take 2 shots because both people have guessed your validity correctly.
Ooh.
And every time, like I said, every time that happens, you also lose a point. So we all start in the negatives, essentially, for tonight. And eventually, hopefully, someone breaks even, or we all cry. Right? Before we get started...
Yeah, I felt I should also point out we've got a couple of people joining us, which is great. So almost like a live studio audience, but largely a collection of people looking at their phones. Say hello.
Clap.
Hey.
Look at that.
Cool. What a Friday night.
Yeah, what a Friday night. They were all here for the very first one of these. In
True.
in like 2 years' time,
Yeah.
we're going to be doing this for like the Queen or something.
Wow.
Right.
Yeah. Or at least in front of more people.
Well, at
Hopefully.
least in front of more people. If it was just one person and it was the Queen, I'd be okay with that.
Wow.
It would be an experience, wouldn't it?
I think things would have really gone south for the Queen. That's kind of what this Markle thing plays out in an ugly way.
Prince Charles just sneaking in from behind, like, oh,
I don't
is
know.
it time?
Yeah.
Is it time?
I think it's time.
I think
Who's
we should.
first?
I think.
You
Oh
first?
no, the guest
Guest
starts.
first.
Oh, guest
always.
starts.
Headline. First
Okay.
headline.
Give us a headline.
Okay, we can now tear CGI bread in half.
Oh, man.
Great.
True.
That's the first
No,
headline
true.
that's gonna leave this podcast. We can now tear CGI in half. I'm gonna also say true.
Ah, shit. It is true.
Woo! Cop the 2.
Down in one.
I'll leave the Jameson whiskey right next to you so you can take 2 at the same time.
thank
Don't worry
you.
about it. Lovely. Mitch, you're up. Actually, do you have any more on that you want to elaborate into, or
Yeah, what's the deal?
what's the deal with that? Why CGI bread?
There's just new technology that means they can properly represent the sponge-type structure
Bread
of a
too.
nice sourdough loaf.
Jeez.
Nice.
Fantastic.
So get excited for that in the next Pixar.
I'm
Yeah.
very
All those
excited
kind
for
of
that.
VR cooking programs.
That's it. The Jameson gets moved to Mitch.
So, new parasitoid wasp species discovered in the Amazon can can manipulate hosts' behavior.
It's so long. It's a very long sentence.
Super weird.
I think it's true.
I say to Adrian, who's
because I think
recovering.
hosts doesn't necessarily mean people, which is what I would normally think.
Can you say it again?
Goddamn. New parasitoid wasp species discovered in the Amazon can manipulate hosts' behavior.
Can you give me the country of origin?
No.
Okay, that's fine. I was treating it like a spelling bee. It's okay. I'm gonna say. Are you saying true?
I'm saying true.
I'm saying true also.
Okay.
Is it true?
Is it true?
Yes.
Hey!
Yeah.
You can see the regret go over his face.
Yeah, it's terrible.
Proceed to take your 2 shots.
So yeah, they live in the Amazon, not surprisingly. And they parasitize spiders, like all good parasitoid wasps. And people from the University of Turku, if you want to check that out for yourself.
Good.
Yeah.
You prepped for that. You hear that? Say it again.
No. So we've got parasitize on spiders. Great. So that was published in the journal, as we all know and love, Zootaxa.
Zootaxa.
Favorite journal.
Yeah.
The Zootaxa.
What's your headline, Henry?
I will say it after you drink that second shot, Mitch.
Oh, God damn.
There it is. All right. 2019
Was it
was the second warmest year on record.
false?
Yeah, I think false too.
Liar.
That is a real shame because it's absolutely true. That's a real
Oh, wow.
headline. Yeah.
Oh, what year was warmer?
I thought it was the warmest.
I was hoping you'd both say yes, and I'd be like, "That's okay." I was wanting to drink anyways because of how warm it's getting. Climate change is
Oh,
real,
wow.
you know. So
What a set.
that is awkward for both of you. Please take your shots.
We don't have to take a shot, do we?
What?
No, sorry, you don't take a shot. I'm just exempt.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, but you both lose a point. No, you don't.
What?
No, you don't. I lie. I'm sorry. The scoring system for this part of the show has gone through such a tinkering process.
new
I
format.
just forget. I forget. No, I am clear. Yeah, it's been the hottest decade in 140 years.
Wow.
And the last 5 years have the last hottest 5 years.
It's almost like the climate has changed.
It's almost like the globe
Almost like the climate is changing.
warming?
is warming.
Dunno. Sounds weird.
Oh,
But the,
Somebody look it up.
the last 5 years have all been the hottest in the last
What year was the hottest ever?
It didn't say in the article.
Oh, I just said it was the second hottest year.
Yeah.
I think it was 2019. Moving on.
Okay, seals keep getting eels stuck up their noses.
Please be true.
I also want this to be true.
be true.
You both
We're
saying
both saying true.
Ah, god damn it!
What?
Yeah, endangered Hawaiian monk seals keep getting eels stuck up their noses, and scientists want them to stop.
Is it a you know? Is it a
I don't know what you're.
is it a sex thing?
No, it's not. There's 2 theories. One is that they hold their breath underwater and then like dig their nose into places where eels are, and then the eels freak out and try and go in the nose. And then the other theory is that they eat the eel, and then I guess the eel disagrees with them. So when they throw it up, have you ever like throw it up when you're eating noodles or something and it goes out your nose? So that. So those are the 2 theories, but it's real.
Wait, yeah, no, there it is. And you're sitting on -4, so that's a great start, Mitch.
Man. Oh. Hummingbirds, rainbow colours. What?
Are these all like
No.
animal related?
Yes, maybe. Hummingbirds, rainbow colours, come from pancake-shaped structures in their feathers.
Oh.
Okay.
So my
Hummingbirds.
theory is he might have changed a small detail.
Hummingbirds' rainbow colors come from pancake-shaped
structures,
Structures.
in their
feathers.
In their feathers. Pancake
You almost
shaped.
say tentacles.
I said I was going to say tails, but no tentacles. Do the hummingbirds have tentacles?
I think
Yeah, they do, yeah.
I think he's also changed something. I don't think it's hummingbirds. Part of me thinks this is him getting me back because in one of our episodes I mentioned hummingbirds in some way.
That was true.
Yeah, and that was true.
Speaking of true.
I'm going to say false.
Hey, split decision.
Great.
Look at that. Let's take this.
You're only going to lose.
championship
You're only going to lose 1 point and not 2 this time.
round. No, 100% correct.
It's true?
Yeah,
Oh,
true.
wow.
Yeah, it's called structural color. It's really cool. It's dope. It's the way that some butterfly wings work. And butterfly wings. Yeah. Other examples, but no, it's great. So
Lovely.
that's the reason why. Green-headed mallard duck.
Oh, that's what I was
another
thinking
one that
of.
works. See?
That's what I was trying to remember.
That's structural color. So some colors work like regular colors
What?
do. No, it's great.
Have I missed this lesson in animal biology where
No,
you're
fine.
just
It's-
naming obscure animals?
They mentioned it in pancake school.
Oh, I didn't go to that. That's on me. Waffles though. Waffle irons.
So the bit. Oh,
I know a lot
So
about
the
that.
bit of feather, feather bit that has
Feather
the
bit,
melanin in it,
if you will.
and the melanosomes,
Yeah.
Yeah.
which we've got in our hair. Well,
Yes.
I don't have as many.
Good.
So they're called barbules. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hummingbirds don't muck around with that. They've just got structures, like a structural made of keratin, same stuff as your fingernail, and it refracts light in such a way that they're incredibly bright.
So they don't have melanin.
They do, but they also have pancake-shaped structural adaptations.
Why not have both?
Why not have both? Por kilonostos.
Absolutely.
Right.
Yeah.
All right.
Henry.
Electric scooter injuries rose 222% in 4 years in the US.
220?
222% in 4 years in the United States.
I think it's more.
Yeah, I think it's way more.
I'm going to say false.
You're gonna
'Cause
say-
I'm
I
going to
think
take a
it's
chance.
You gonna say true?
Yeah. I'm going to say false.
You're both saying false.
Both
Yeah.
saying false.
You guys are making this really hard on yourselves. It's an absolutely true headline.
more. Whoa!
Now.
I've just seen so many more electric scooters on the streets.
Yeah, no, I mean, I can break this one down for you.
On the streets.
I'm cool, just like people that ride electric
Bean
scooters.
The injuries have risen by 222%, but that's not actually... Like, when I tell you the ratio, it'll make a bit more sense. In 2014, 6 in 100,000 injuries in America
Right.
to hospitals were scooter-related. And in 2018, it was 19 in 100,000.
Wow.
Right, so 2 small numbers, but that increase rate is hella.
And this is just one of the reasons you shouldn't ride an electric scooter.
Just one of the
Just
many.
one of the reasons.
One of the many. No, they're good. They're good.
Alright, do we want my last one?
We would
Yes,
like your
please.
last one, Adrian.
Okay. Bonobo mothers are so keen for their sons to father children that they usher them in front of promising partners, shield them from violent competitors, and dash the chances of other males by charging them while they are at it.
Bonobo mothers is my parents?
Maybe.
I'm going to go with the wishy thinking school of science. And
Okay.
yeah, true. Yeah, I want that to be true. That's amazing. Like overbearing bonobo mothers.
I'm going to say true as well.
Oh, it is true.
Hey.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. It's all happening. Adrian, I'm so sorry.
Just as a one-sentence add-on, high-ranking mothers lead sons to groups of females and keep guard while they mate.
Wow.
There you
Look
go.
at that.
Wow, they really are just like us, aren't they?
That's it. They really are. They really are.
So,
While Adrian's dying over here.
yeah, buckle up.
I'm Buck.
Biologists make living sperm glow.
Biologists make living sperm.
Why would you
glow.
not?
Why is it taking this long, I suppose, if it is true?
That is true.
Right? Like,
I'm gonna go with it's true.
I'm going to say it's false, because I think it should have happened earlier.
They should have already done this. Not in the last year.
Not in the last year. Not in the last... Yeah. What is it, Mitch?
Yeah, it's true.
Hey!
Yeah, it's true. It's definitely true.
Was
So-
it human sperm?
No, fruit fly again.
Oh, the best kind of sperm.
Best. Yeah. So it turns out sperm, right?
Yeah.
Highly glycolytic. They're
Which
metabolizing a lot, metabolizing rapidly, breaking down sugars.
Okay.
And you can label those fluorescently
Okay.
in preference to tissue that doesn't do that as much.
There you
Yeah.
go.
So I'll see where. Hang on, where was that published? If you want to check that out, the work of Professor Doctor.
Professor Doll.
You know he knows what he's on about.
Oh,
This man
the
knows his
double,
fly sperm.
The double.
Klaus Reinhardt.
Did it in the library with the pipe.
in the journal Scientific Reports. Yeah.
Okay.
And the question that they were answering with their research was, how do female insects manage to keep the sperm fresh for months after the mating? This is a central question of sperm biologists.
Yeah, I've been wondering this for a while.
Yeah, I've been wondering. At the chair of applied zoology.
There you go. Also, for everyone listening, we'll have links to all the articles and stuff we'll be discussing throughout this next however long this podcast ends up going for.
All the study notes.
Great.
What's your last one?
My last one, and I'm hoping that you guys actually make me drink some alcohol, because I've taken work off tomorrow, so this night can happen.
Well,
A parasite that makes mice unafraid of cats may quash other fears too.
Quash other fears.
oh, toxoplasmosis.
True. It is toxoplasmosis gondii. It's the reason why you shouldn't go through it with your...
However,
Ooh.
has anyone had a falsity yet? I think all of mine were true. All of yours were true.
I'm shit at lying.
Yeah, I am too. I think Henry's pretty good at lying.
Henry is a good liar.
He knows we know about toxoplasmosis.
Do I?
He let us...
He knows we
The
know.
first I knew about
Cunning
it.
ruse.
I think we should split it.
A cat
So he
shit
has to
themed
drink.
ruse.
I'm going
What?
to go false, you go true.
Done. Right. 3, 2, 1.
False.
True.
It is absolutely true. It absolutely is. This article was released only a few days before we went to air today.
Went to air. This
Went to
is
air,
so
right?
good. Yeah.
Toxoplasmosis gondii. Yeah, that is absolutely the parasite. But they've discovered that it makes mice. What have I written here? Reckless. It makes mice reckless generally. Like they tested mice with they realized that the mice were going to places, more exposed places, which they don't normally go.
Good berries.
Good
ice
berries.
cream,
That's it.
supermarkets, that
I've seen
kind of
Love it.
stuff. Yeah.
Coles when they were a Woolies boy. The IGA, but not for alcohol. Yeah.
Out and about.
Out and about, you know. You get it. And I would take...
So they'll be eaten by cats. That's a deal? He just nearly threw up. This is great radio.
yeah,
Is that the deal?
That's the
Okay,
deal.
alright, that's the deal.
That
To
is-
get more cat food,
That's it.
prove the bacteria,
They'll
more
just-
food for cats.
That's it. They'll
Like
just,
they're great songs.
they'll just
Food for
die
cats.
more.
Well,
They'll just die more.
toxoplasmosis also infects humans.
Does it?
Yes.
So apparently 60 million people in the US, which would be like, what, 1 in 5,
Quite
1
a
in
lot.
6,
Sure.
has toxoplasmosis inside of them at this very moment.
Holy moly.
So
Do they go to places they wouldn't usually? Let me explain a few things.
I've heard people say that it means you treat cats
Reckless
nicer, but I don't know if I believe that.
That sounds like...
Maybe everyone that's a cat person just has.
Oh, okay. In this article, for those who survive, toxoplasmosis can have lasting consequences on the brain, eyes, heart, and lungs.
Solid.
This is 1 in 6 people.
Wow. And with that in mind, we start tonight's game with Adrian sitting on -6, Mitch sitting on -4. And this is a rare occurrence.
Here we go.
Your boy's sitting on -1. I'm going to
Oh
be glowing
my
about
gosh,
this
only one person.
until I end up not winning tonight, despite this hefty head start.
Dethroned.
That's it.
Is that my one or your one?
Your one.
Really?
Yeah. So, welcome, mostly gents, to What's That Sound?
What is that sound?
Yeah.
What?
So, in this, each contestant provides audio for the others to be heard. I'm just reading this verbatim.
That's all good.
Which
wrote it with that
can
hope.
be from any field of science. The others must then try to guess what it was. For such a difficult and specific task, the potential for points awarded is also extremely high. If the sound is guessed correctly, the person guessing receives 5 points.
As a creative writer, it's really nice hearing my work getting spoken out loud by someone else.
That's
I think
true.
It's really inspiring.
Again, can I get 6? Because I'm on -6 right now. Just to.
That's not how this works.
Oh,
man.
no.
No,
Okay.
that's the
That's
We
fine.
can't make leeways on the very first episode. That's a terrible precedent for the future.
Fine.
So we will play the sounds to each other live in the this is
studio,
inverted
let's
commas
call
for
it.
radio in the studio.
Studio, that's it.
We'll play each other the
We're
sounds
in
live.
a
but
studio,
we'll-
not a living room.
That's right. We'll
Yes.
roll them in production later, so you'll
Sure,
be able to hear
yeah,
them a
that's
little bit better. But as always, guest goes first.
Of course.
Oh, okay. All right. Volume up.
And I think something else we should add that I should have written down. I'm sorry, Mitch. The person offering the sound gets to essentially choose if the answer is close enough. Right?
Oh, okay. So
Right,
the
'cause, like,
sound offerer.
Yeah, the sound offerer
Can decide, okay,
if the
that's
offering
enough.
is close enough.
Because they can't be a dick about it.
That's it. They can't be a dick about it.
they
Right?
They can be a dick about
No,
it.
they can't be a dick
they-
about
Excuse you
They
guys.
can.
I can be a dick about it.
You can be a dick about it. We'll just be very disappointed.
Alrighty, you're
We'll
on.
gently ask you to stop.
Okay, fair. Are y'all ready?
Yeah.
Alright, here we go. and then
Oh, what?
Alright.
All right. I think it is a...
Robot horse.
Is that your answer?
No, that's yours.
That's not my answer.
Throw you off.
That's what you think it is. Don't lie.
Actually, I want to hear your answer first now, because you've stopped me. I want to hear your answer.
Oh, man.
That wasn't
That's
quite
the
it.
robot
That wasn't-
horse.
That's the robot horse, yeah. That's...
Geiger counter? Having a real good night?
A what, sorry?
Like a Geiger counter? Like
A Geiger counter.
radioactivity
Oh, so like detecting Chernobyl or something like that.
Yeah.
Okay,
Well,
interesting guess.
That's pretty good.
What about Henry's?
Because I was going to go more biologically speaking. I was thinking it was just a woodpecker pecking real fast.
You're
Right.
both incorrect.
Was either one of
Damn
us
it.
close?
No.
Okay.
Robot horse?
The horse was the closest.
What? Oh!
But not close at all. Just
Just the closest.
It's the sound
saying
of
much.
dust particles and small rocks from a comet hitting NASA's Stardust spacecraft.
Wow.
Yeah, radio.
Wow,
There you
radio.
go.
Radio. Okay.
Alright, here's my one.
Here's yours, Mitch. Hit us up with it.
It sounds like a really sad, like, slide whistle. But I don't know what science topic a really sad slide whistle would be related.
Here's the thing. This is like the thing is this is the first. No. Don't worry.
Yeah,
this is
okay.
this is the first, and it's crazy that it's happening on the first episode. I have the exact same sound. Prepared.
So can I guess first? Because
Yeah, you can guess.
Because I don't
guess
actually
first.
think
Here's
it's a
the-
really sad slide whistle.
Here's the thing. I am going to refrain from guessing this round. Generally, because it'll just give me an
Unfair advantage.
Unfair advantage. Like, this will
Okay.
be a lead that you guys cannot catch up with.
I feel like, given current events in Australia, that it sounds somewhat like a fire truck or something. Honestly, is what my guess is, and.
I'm listening.
I'm gonna. Can I leave it at that?
You can't leave
You
it
can't
at that.
leave it at that.
I can't leave it.
I'm
at
answering for you because it's the same
Yeah, no,
sound.
we got the same
Oh,
sound.
Okay, a fire truck. Is it a fire truck in some way?
Like, we can't.
No,
can't get any
there's
feedback?
No questions, no.
We've already told you that it's more than that.
You've been
But
on
you've
two
given me that
episodes
it's a
of this show.
fire
We've
truck.
given you enough of a hint that it's more
Is
than
it?
that.
Is it a fire truck that's the sound has been distorted by the heat and smoke or something like that?
That's really
No.
that's really poor.
No, Papa.
I'm sorry.
What is it?
Is that your final answer?
I'm leaving it at that because I'm wrong.
Yeah. It's very respectful.
What is
Fair
it?
enough, yeah.
Yeah, after you.
It's a no. It's really.
Yeah, you may feel free to say the thing that you offered up. Yes.
So because of the Australian bushfires,
Yes.
horrible as they are, thoughts.
Donate to the fireys if you get a chance.
Absolutely donate to anywhere you can. That's a magpie.
No.
Yes.
Yeah, mimicking a fire engine.
Yes.
Oh my gosh!
I
It didn't
know.
do that great of a job.
What? Did a great
Whoa.
job.
It was a
Hey
sad
now.
slide whistle.
It did a great job. I bet if I walked from 10 meters away from it,
For Radio Henry's pointing.
I bet if I walked 100 meters, like...
You'd be like,
to
"That's
and
a
from the
sad
magpie-"
slide whistle.
I'd be like, whoa, that's some Doppler effect shit there. I bet that's what I'd say. That was some very solid magpie ambulance.
We'll play
Oh,
it
sorry,
once
fire
more
truck.
because yours has been usurped, Henry. We've got time.
We got time.
Right, so this is the. Hang on, here we go. I'll cut this in after. Maybe.
They're definitely cut in after. and we'll cut in
let's hang on.
twice for them, just because we're good people.
Yeah.
So it's a magpie.
It's a magpie.
Wow.
Hang on, I'll show you the video. You can see the video.
Wow, that's astonishing.
You know why they do this though? It's one of my favorite things. Why mimics do it? Like mimic birds. Like
Yeah.
birds and magpies. Yeah. They do it. They do it for the ladies.
Of course.
Yeah,
Is it the lyrebird? Is that what you just said?
Oh, yeah.
There's that David Attenborough one.
Oh.
Where it, like, mimics the camera shutter and everything.
Whack.
Oh.
Chainsaw.
Oh!
Yeah. It's the kind of thing. It's on my search
I
history.
mean, sad, but...
No.
It's kind of sad that they have to mimic a chainsaw.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Very prescient.
Yes. Alright, Henry, do you have a new sound? Or are you...
See, I was trying to find what I was like I was trying to find something else for you guys that was just going to be like...
So Henry and I cancel each other out, in effect. And unfortunately, we didn't get any points.
I get
from
no
you.
points either.
So that round was a waste of time.
Ayo, that would have been the best case scenario for Adrian. He could have caught up. Could have been -1, but I had the exact same sound, and
The gods are cruel.
I know, and I was gonna say after the sound that Australia is just not doing well right now, environmentally speaking, and if anyone listening has anything to spare for any part of this country's fire being the country's fire situation, to definitely do something, because
If you're in
it's
doubt,
not
the
good.
Red Cross Disaster Relief Fund is real good.
Yeah. I was actually I was driving back from Braidwood with a friend just literally yesterday, because it just opened up in New South Wales, and I saw a dead wombat coming back around the other side, and it was real sad. And it's a lot of the animals in our country have copped it in this. So for those who are listening, I'm sure this is not the first time you've heard this, but if you have a chance to do something, do something. It's a rough time for all. But at the end of that, no one's scores have changed.
Yeah.
Funny that. It's as if there
Minus
was... We are still sitting at Adrian at -6, Mitch at -4, and Henry at -1. What a great time for all. And here we are. We are all a good level of intoxicated, I think. I think you guys are a bit more than I am just because of the score, but you know what it is. We are at the main part of our show. The Science Under the Influence section. Because we are all currently delivering science under the influence. What a crazy time. Each member of the podcast episode, we have a pre-prepared information on a science story, which has occurred in the last month of science history. What?
No, you're good.
Okay, good. We will have 5 minutes maximum to explain the story as concisely as we can, despite our state of intoxication, and then we will field one question from each person. Now, 1 point for a 5-minute explanation, which is understood by the others. 1 point for each for answering questions from the others to a solid enough extent. So there's a chance to get 3 points here, which means there is a chance that...
I could be on -3.
You could be on -3, Adrian. That's it. And as our guest, feel free to start first.
Okay.
I'm going to get the stopwatch up right now with a very scientific device known as a mobile phone. And we'll get this one going whenever you want to start.
Alright, so I'm reading this article from the Max Delbruck Center for Molecular Medicine.
Hey.
And it's called Learning from the Bears.
The bear.
Yeah.
All right.
So, grizzly bears hibernate for sometimes 5 to 7 months
It's a while.
of the year. It's a long time. And in that time, they don't have muscle atrophy after they come back.
Okay.
They don't excrete at all.
How?
Exactly.
Okay. Keep going. Yeah, okay.
And these are all...
That's all my questions.
I mean, the latter would be useful, but not what this is about. So, some scientists were sort of looking at the grizzly bears and analysing, perhaps, why they can survive without sort of anything for 5 to 7 months.
Sure.
And then, keep living life. So, the question was, what is this? And then, essentially, could we eventually apply it to humans?
Sure.
So, they took grizzly bears, they took samples of their DNA from before they went into hibernation and after, and they analysed the genes, and they found certain genes that were different before and after, also compared to humans and worms and mice. And so after looking at those genes, they analysed all the stuff inside, and then they sort of found a whole bunch of different genes that they could turn on and off to try and see what helps for a bear to survive hibernation.
Sure.
And be able to live life normally after, not moving for 5 months. And so what they did is they looked at the bear's genes and saw the difference between before and after. And then, after doing some spectrometry and lots of fancy stuff to look at sort of the differences, they found a bunch of different proteins and the main difference was amino acids. So they called these non-essential amino acids, or NEAAs, or NEAs.
Yep, gotcha.
Say it again.
NEAs. And so, NEAs have been well known before, apparently. And so they tried feeding humans NEAs. And found that, unfortunately, if you just consume it as a powder or as a pill, it doesn't help too much with avoiding sort of muscle atrophy.
Yep.
However, the bears seem to be able to produce it naturally in the muscles, and it can direct exactly to where it needs, so the muscles don't wear out. So they sort of analyzed a whole bunch of different genes and stuff, and they took nematode worms.
Yep.
Specifically, because apparently nematode worms are really easy. They can turn off genes and turn them on.
Yeah.
And so they turned on and off all these different genes that they had noticed that bears have sort of differences between bears and humans, also when they're hibernating and not when they're hibernating. And they found a whole bunch of different genes, and they think they now know which particular ones, when you turn on or off, could help avoid muscle atrophy. So when they took the nematode worms, they turned all the bunch of different ones, they saw all these differences, turned some of them on, turned some of them off, and they sort of narrowed it down to these genes are the ones that might form NEAs and avoid muscle atrophy.
Wow.
So there you go.
Great, that was under 5 minutes. We'll take that. That was 3 minutes 40. Lovely.
It's on the rules. Fantastic.
Yep. You already get one. Actually, no, you don't. Was what he said concise?
Oh, yeah.
I agree as well.
That was good.
That's 1 point there straight away. You're on -5, Adrian.
Yeah.
We have one question each. Mitch.
Oh, man.
Do you have a question for this?
I do. I have two. And one's like a bit of a dick move, and the other one's fine.
Ask the nice one, and then ask the dick move.
I will offer the dick move one. I think we're thinking the same way here.
Sure. Maybe.
Yeah.
So if the bears don't excrete, where does the excreta go?
Well, I assume if they don't excrete, it sort of stays inside of them, because presumably bears consume a huge amount of food. Right. I've even seen this. I went to Alaska, saw them eating salmon.
That was just a subtle.
It was a lot of fun.
What a subtle flex you threw out there. I've been to Alaska, guys. Don't worry
from the
about
river,
it.
I'll tell you
shoveling it into their face like me with a kebab on a Friday night. Just
you guys should try it. Not just the kebab, also going to Alaska and seeing the salmon. But they would consume
weird
food.
flex,
So they
but
put on
okay.
a lot of fat so that they can, so there's still energy consumption.
it's not personal bears. It's just a little.
And then my assumption, which might not actually be true, is that the little bit of food that they have in their stomach remains until after the 5 to 7 months.
Radio.
Okay. Are you happy with that?
Yeah, that's fair.
Okay.
That's what I deserved.
I have 2 questions.
But you're only allowed one.
I am.
What is he gonna do?
And both of these questions have nothing to do with what he said.
Oh, I'd love those questions.
They're both just very self-indulgent.
Yeah.
I don't know which one to go with. I think I'll go.
You haven't told me either of them.
I'll go with the former, and then just hope that he agrees to answer the latter after the segments.
Sure.
What was that thing you said before that? You emphasized so much.
Yes.
Great. Would you mind saying that 10 times into the mic
What
with
the
as
hell?
much
That is
gusto
That's a
come on.
terrible
and energy as you can? He's behind
terrible.
Mitch.
He's behind,
We
that's true.
can't. We're giving him a chance to embarrass himself for points.
Yeah, I was gonna
Right. They are non-essential amino
What?
acids.
No, hang on. That's not the question you're
Incredibly important.
I was going to ask if you had an example of one.
Of a non-essential
That was my
amino
big
acid?
question, yeah.
Oh my god. So I know what the genes are that assist in producing these non-essential amino acids. Perhaps.
Okay. All right.
So potentially they're PDK4, Serpinth1, and Rora.
I'm willing to give you a whole point right now if you just said that word again into the mic.
Yes!
just 5 times. Just chuck it in there.
Yes!
Give it a sound.
No, I think that's enough. That's enough for the listeners.
Yeah, we can stop.
I'll give him
so
that.
sorry.
I'll give him the. No, we can give him the next.
Give him the point.
Adrian, you're sitting in -3 right now. Mitch,
Fantastic.
you have 5 minutes, and your time starts the moment you say your first word.
Oh, wow, I'm up. In another lifetime, if they'd been allowed to follow their development, these stem cells would have grown into African clawed frogs. But scientists involved in this process have built the first ever robots constructed entirely out of living cells.
Tell us more. You have 5 minutes to do so. Let's go going.
I was pausing for dramatic effect.
I understand. I'm sorry.
So frogs,
It's fine.
Turned into something.
Not just frogs. African clawed frogs.
the best kind.
Embryonic cells of pluripotent embryonic stem cells applied to a physical scaffold designed by a computer algorithm. Sub-millimeter configurations of cells in the thousands or 500 to 1,000 cells then become what has now been called Xenobots.
Whoa, what is a Xenobot?
Tell us
The
more.
Xenobot is a robot made entirely out of living tissue. Designed by algorithm, put together. Some of them have a hole in the middle to reduce drag and allow them to carry things. They ran simulations over and over again to see whether or not these scaffolds that they designed or these configurations of cells would actually work, would be mobile. And when they created the scaffold and added the cells, they worked. They were alive.
What?
Moved around, carried compounds, and they survived for... Let me just check this out, because this is the bit that really got me.
You're good. You got 5 minutes.
Okay, so can I ask,
Yeah.
Hang on.
not as a question, but
Okay.
more as a general statement.
Sure.
Right.
Is this essentially humans created another thing?
Well, they didn't create the pluripotent stem cells from the clawed frogs, but they definitely created a structural configuration of those cells. So these configurations survive for up to a week, just on the
Okay.
existing lipids and proteins in their cellular tissue, without needing to be kind of
So they didn't get
replenished
fed.
at all. No, they didn't feed them. Don't need to feed them.
It's a bit mean.
So, what we have basically is scientists have developed the scaffold or a way in which to put together cells that can, in essence, become any kind of cell, typically within an African clawed frog. Right? But no.
Typical.
Now, we put a big hole in the middle, and you have this big square-shaped sort of cellular xenobot that can exist in this fluid media, boat around, pick up compounds, move them. Why are they doing this, I hear you ask?
Why are they doing
really
this?
Yeah, what are the implications?
Tell us more.
It's terrifying, isn't it? So the current state of Xenobots is relatively harmless. Largely a research project. Ha, ha, ha. We're all having a good time.
Yeah, unlike
But-
xenomorphs.
There is the potential for future work. Could incorporate nerve cells. Could develop them into bioweapons.
Oh.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
See? But they could be used for more benevolent purposes, bioindustry, used as medication delivery mechanisms, and they're also, wait for it, biodegradable.
Oh,
Hey.
living the dream.
There it is.
So, as the field of research grows, of course, you need to worry about stuff like regulations and ethics and whatever, but for the moment, they can do things with their living robots that other machines just can't do.
Sound like the start of a Margaret Atwood novel,
It's good, isn't it? Yeah, so Xenobots, amazing. And they've made, the people who were organising this, which I should probably talk about.
Well, you have a minute to do so.
Nice. Joshua Bongard, computer scientist and roboticist. Big props. At the University of Vermont. Well done. And he was saying that they should put that research up in PNAS. The journal PNAS. Nothing funny about the journal PNAS.
I love penis.
Proceedings of I love PNAS. Proceedings of the National Academy of Sciences, PNAS. Everyone knows that, PNAS.
Of course.
PNAS, big journal,
There's a
PNAS.
lot of you men.
Big journal, big impact factor, PNAS.
That's it.
And they also publish their source code freely via GitHub.
Okay.
It's less funny to say.
Thank you, penis.
Thank you, Penis.
Okay,
Huge
wow.
thanks.
Well, I'll give a point for
Well,
explanation.
yeah, no, that was very
I
good.
understand what's going on.
That was under 5 minutes. Take the point. That is your 1 point. There it
Big
is.
penis energy.
Big penis energy.
Alright, so question-wise, what is the structure built in.
Is that your one question?
That the cells.
Is that your one question?
Or whatever.
Is that your one question?
That's my one question.
There you go.
Yeah, that's a good question.
Oh no!
No,
I really want to know.
No, I actually don't know. But you can check it out in PNAS. You can flop out the PNAS.
Oh,
Examine. You know.
My goodness.
Check it out.
Okay, so you're not getting a point for that.
No, that's fine. I'll cop the tweet.
This is very unfortunate because I've written down here that my question was going to be like, who came up with this? And you asked it in the last 30 seconds.
Yeah, see?
Right? Like,
See?
which is really unfortunate.
Don't jump the gun.
But I do have another question. Ready? It's not going to be as good.
Go on.
I'm sorry.
Yep.
And maybe you said the answer to this, but I'm just scraping right now because I'm hoping you wouldn't actually say who came up with it.
Sure.
Right?
Yeah.
And if you did say the answer to it, then well, great. You've got a free point here.
Right.
You called them Xenobots.
Yeah.
Why are they called Xenobots?
Oh, it's like xenograft. It's like a xeno. The prefix means that it's something foreign to whatever you're talking about.
or
So
xenomorph.
it's from like outside, like
Ooh.
xenomorph, which is the creature from. I don't know why I did that. the creature from Aliens. Is that right?
That's correct.
Half a
Wow.
point. No, I'm kidding.
No, get the full point. Get the full point.
Yeah,
of that.
no, that's all right. Yeah, but xenomorph, it's like foreign. Like if you talk about xenograft, it's like a skin graft from somebody else or like somebody else's kidney.
I'm
Oh
happy
my
with that.
gosh!
I'm happy with that.
I've just looked up the article, and they use
It's just a configuration. It's just the cells, isn't it? It's not.
but they
the
use
scaffold.
like machine learning almost to try and develop the things
it
that
is
they attach
amazing. Yeah,
to. Whoa!
yeah.
Incredible.
Living robots come into a fluid pond near you. Get amongst it.
Coming to a fluid pond near you from penis.
From PNAS.
From PNS.
Yeah.
That's it. All right, my turn.
Yes.
Yes.
I want to say this before I start the 5 minutes because this doesn't actually have to. This doesn't actually have to do with the.
I'm starting the time.
No, it doesn't have to do with what I'm saying. It doesn't have to do with what I'm saying, right? In between our recordings of this, the last time we paused to have just a nice chat, I drank a bit more just because I felt bad for you guys because you had a lot. But that's hitting right now,
Yeah.
right? That is hitting right now.
Good luck, Buttercup. Let's
so
get
with-
into
All
it.
right.
So with that in mind, we'll start
And
the 5
5, 4,
minutes.
3, 2, 1.
All right. Here, ladies and gents, is your topic sentence from your boy
This is gonna be
Henry.
terrible.
Trying to drag
let's
out
get
5
into it.
minutes as best
get
as
into
we
it.
can.
Oh man,
You ready?
playing for time.
Here we go.
All right.
Here he is.
Scientists put 3D glasses on cuttlefish. Stay with me. Stay with me. 3D glasses on cuttlefish and showed them film clips.
That's what you gotta do.
This allowed for this study came out with 2 results. One, cuttlefishes actually have the ability to watch and react to 3D movies, and 2, they
I knew it.
That's where I get off. All right, come on.
and
What's
2
what's your second
they have
bullshit made up point?
That's not this section, Mitch.
know,
This is
I
a
know,
real
yeah, I know.
story. They have incredibly proficient depth perception. Cuttlefish.
Death or depth?
Depth.
Wow.
Lovely. All right, so this article came out on January 9th this year. This is a 2020 article, and we all had a hard time finding a good article this month just because it's like Christmas shutdown.
Excuse you.
Right? Mitch and I had the exact same sound. Like, that's kind of where we are at this point.
That's true.
But
All right, let's call it a
this-
slow science week.
slow science month.
Is there any
Yeah, sure. So Trevor Waddle.
Trevor Waddle?
Yeah, Trevor
Sure.
Waddle, that's his name.
Alright,
he was
I
the lead
believe you.
author for this.
Yeah.
And he's also an assistant professor in ecology, evolution, and behavior
Well
at
done,
the
Trevor.
University of Minnesota.
Don't.
Great stuff, yep.
Minnesota.
Yes.
Thank you.
The procedure went like this. They superglued Velcro. Stay with me.
Keep going.
To the skin of cuttlefish. And they fastened 3D glasses to the Velcro. This isn't this new age 3D glasses. This ain't new age shit. This is some old retro shit. They put a pair of glasses that had red cellophane and blue cellophane onto these cuttlefish.
Oh, man.
And they played a video of shrimp in front of the tank. Now, stay with me now.
That's like a squid cooking show.
Now, cuttlefish love shrimp, and they actually ended up attacking the on-screen shrimp like in the wild.
Fact.
Cuttlefish love shrimp, motherfuckers.
Fact.
Right? And so cuttlefish, the cuttlefish eyes, they're kind of like a camera. They have a cornea, a lens, iris, and a retina.
Gotcha.
And we've discovered that they can actually use stereopsis.
What does that mean?
Thank you.
Is that your question, or is that just me?
No, I'm just wanting
That's
expand.
okay. It allows them to discern distance. They use they use interceptions from both eye signals.
I can do that.
Yeah, like people, right? Genuinely. And they actually adjusted.
They really are just like it.
That's cuttlefish.
They adjusted their position relative to the screen as well. And the people behind this entire investigation, I suppose, they think that the skill is likely involved in several different ways through biological history, depending on the epoch and the animal.
Wow.
Yeah. I have more time, so I'm going to keep going
sure.
at the risk of then losing answers to questions. But I'm so in front that I am quietly confident. So,
why stop now?
Yeah, why stop now, right? Why stop now? This entire procedure was inspired by Newcastle. By Newcastle University, because they did a study similar on praying mantises.
Of course.
And they discovered that praying mantises actually had like that same kind of stereopsis.
This is why people don't like it. I just can't help but think there's like... anyway.
Yeah, no,
Keep
that's...
going. You've got 50 seconds left.
That is all of it. I also... No, that's all of it. I am going to hold it there. That is everything I want to say to you guys right now, in the strategic hope that you ask me the exact 2 questions that I've left out from telling you.
Oh, interesting.
Was what I said concise enough that you understood?
Definitely. Except, you know what? I'm going to be a little bit unorthodox here.
I can't believe you're doing this to me right now, Mitch.
Yeah, I know, I'm sorry. I'm going to put it out to our increasingly bored studio audience to ask the questions.
To what? To ask the questions.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. But you agree that what I said was concise.
Were you listening?
That's all I needed.
No,
That is all I needed.
No, that's going to make it even better. It's going to make it even better. So, weren't listening. 2 people watching this whole ridiculousness go down. You definitely explained it well for what it was, right? But
yeah.
Like, I'm amazed that that's a thing. Fantastic. What was his name again? That's not my question.
Okay, his name was Trevor Waddle.
Well done, Waddles.
And I want to say that...
Hats off, mate.
Here's the thing.
Well done. Someone's got to do the hard yards with the script.
You know what? I'm
going
to ask a question.
Before
Trevor Waddles. Everyone else has gone home for the weekend. He's like, no, I need more super
Do you not want to hear my question?
More Velcro.
Before I go any further, in the past, we have found an article to explain by going onto a scientific news website or journal, right?
Oh, I haven't done that.
Okay, well, Mitch and I have, I hope.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie to you guys. I found this main story out when I was in Melbourne.
Back of a toilet door.
No, in a hotel room. And you know how news centers do the whole thing where they're kind of like, now for a bit of lighthearted news. Yeah, this was a lighthearted news. And I was like, whoa, this is a really cool image of a cuttlefish with 3D glasses on.
Okay.
We're gonna add this image. This image will be one of the URLs for.
I've got a
That is the cover
question.
image. That's the cover image. Waddles, you're a champ.
But I've got a theory of why the answer.
Say it again.
I've got a tough question, which I've got a theory of what the answer is.
Is that a question or is that a statement?
No,
Adrian?
that's a statement.
Grammar's bullshit.
Why?
We moved past it.
Why?
Did they not use polarized 3D glasses like most movie theaters do now?
Okay.
Goggles.
Is that your question?
Yes.
Okay, well, I feel that a large reason for that was because it was just harder.
Why would it be harder though?
I don't know.
Then get 2 questions.
Why would it be harder?
I'm not
given
sure.
mine over.
You know what? You know what I bet? I bet after they saw the University of Queensland praying mantises wearing their cool, like, everybody's kung fu fighting glasses.
I thought they were mantis shrimp.
No.
No, you said praying mantis.
I heard mantis shrimp.
Did you?
Yeah.
Well, that's unfortunate because I'm literally reading from the paper that I can barely see right now.
Mantis shrimp are great, though.
They're cool, but
really
apparently it's praying mantis.
It is praying mantis.
They put 3D glasses on praying mantises?
Newcastle University put 3D glasses on praying mantises, and they kind of looked like...
Such a good sentence out of context.
I know. Here's the thing, I was going to use this as one of my true or false headlines, but then as we discussed before this went to air, there haven't been many news stories this last month, right? So this ended up being my main story. And I'm glad it did, because I knew more about it before tonight, and
So just to clarify, your answer of why they didn't do polarized 3D glasses is because it would be hard.
Yeah, and I'm not confident on that, but I think that might genuinely be the case, because they were focusing on experimenting with how the cuttlefish would adjust to what they see.
I'm sending this episode to Waddles, because I think he needs to hear this.
No, because like they noted that the cuttlefish adjusted their position relative to the screen.
Mm-hmm. Do you
Right?
hear this,
And
Trev?
and the fact that they wrote, the fact that they wore blue and red, the retro style, meant they could do that, right? It's above my pay grade. But you're not happy with that, are you?
I don't know. You know what? I'll give it to you because presumably it would be harder.
Yeah.
Because it's like you can't just use a normal TV screen with a polarized set of glasses.
Yeah.
Or anything like that.
Sure.
Or if they span around. I don't know if these cuttlefish swim sideways, but then...
Cuttlefish be crazy.
Then the wrong image would be in the wrong eye. It would be a nightmare.
They go backwards. Doesn't matter. All right, question from
Wait, hang on. Is that a point? Is it not a point?
That's a point.
Is it a point?
It's like a...
Give it a half point. That's fine.
Can I give you a half point?
Give me the half point.
I'll give you a half point.
That's fine.
Ooh.
We have...
Sorry, that was me.
That's no, it's okay, because I have nothing more written down here, so...
Oh, merciless. All right.
We have
Question from the audience.
We have one more question. I just want to say, I've invited you both into my living room, and you're using the live audio.
Get it. Recording studio. None of this living room nonsense. What's your question for this pile of lies?
Alright, do we get one question?
Yes.
Sorry, Waddles.
Between the two of us? One question between the two
You
of us?
get one each. I don't know.
Don't say there's two.
No, they don't.
All right, you get one
They have
between
one
the two.
question.
You're taking my question.
Alright. Well, while they're...
While we're thinking about this, anyone heard any good jokes recently? Adrian?
No, I've only heard terrible jokes.
What do?
This is going to get me so flamed on Twitter. Don't care. What do engineers use as contraceptives?
What do engineers use as contraceptives, Mitch?
Jokes.
There you go.
That's not bad.
That's pretty good.
That's not bad. That is not bad at all.
Alright.
Did that audience
come
have a
on.
question? No, they're still thinking.
One more
Oh my goodness. I knew this was a mistake, not just because I knew I wouldn't be able to answer their question, but also because of this exact moment. I swear it. I swear
Oh, gosh.
it.
What are we going to eat after this, Adrian?
I'm going to go home and get a delivery food service.
Which one?
Non-specific.
Very good.
Right, yeah, nice.
He's learning.
This is good.
Oh, we have a question.
We have a question. Okay, our question is, where did this start? Like, I'm guessing they didn't just go, let's just chuck some glasses on this fish. And also, why?
Cephalopod doesn't matter.
Okay, so for those that might not have been, in case we're not able to hear it because the audience is a little bit far away from the microphone, the question was where did it start and why did they put 3D glasses on? I feel like I answered this.
What are they?
I heard that it started with the praying mantis, not the shrimp.
literally. They were inspired by the Newcastle University study on praying mantises. But just to give you a bit more information, because the whole why did the glasses stay or why did they work?
Yeah.
They worked for only a few days. The glue lasted for a few days.
No, I think that's not the question. Yeah, that's not the question.
No, but the question I feel like I answered in 5
I think
minutes.
the question would be why would anyone do this?
Oh, sure. Okay. In that case, the answer would just be they were wanting to test if any other animals had that same kind of stereopsis that us as people do have.
Okay.
Right? Because Wardo himself, he was an assistant professor in ecology, evolution, and behavior.
Fair.
Right? So that's kind of
but
the answer in that.
Why
And
fish?
I feel like they've been through a few different kinds. They would have... The originally wasn't praying mantis.
Oh, cuttlefish.
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 Sorry, my bad.
Cuttlefish,
Why
cuttlefish.
seafood?
Waddles has just flipped the fucking table. It's not about this. Oh, mate.
That is my answer. I'm maintaining it.
Alright.
The gentleman at the table, are you happy with it?
It's not up to me. I didn't answer
No,
the
it
question.
really is, though.
I think it's up to the audience. Do you feel like your question was answered?
I say no.
I feel like the question was answered when I was giving the 5-minute spiel. I feel like this was answered in it.
That's a no. That was a no. Audience says no.
Not even a half point.
I will let the audience say no just to make this game a bit
So you're only on
close.
negative a half right now.
I'm only on negative a half, that's absolutely right. And with the end of the main portion of our show, we have Adrian sitting on -3, Mitch at -2, and your boy sitting at -0.5. Anyone's game going into the last two sections.
Welcome to Wacky Words.
Wacky words.
Yeah.
Wacky words.
Each contestant offers 4 words, 3 of which have a scientific relation, and 1 of which is completely made up. While having to pronounce the words correctly, no explanation for each word is needed until after the game is done.
There you go.
Yeah.
What was
So
that
the
accent
scoring
attempt?
is... Pardon?
What was that accent attempt at the end
Just
there? Okay,
general
carry
honest. So, each correct word, you get 3 points?
Yes!
Whoa,
on the
whoa,
positive.
hang on. No.
No, do
Each
3
correct
points, 3
word
points, 3
gets...
points.
No, hang on. Each correct
you
word
get a
is
point
1
for each one.
point. It's a
Yeah,
maximum of
okay,
3
alright.
points,
Alright,
right?
Cool.
There you go.
So,
Adrian, don't worry about it.
I think you go first, my friend.
Me?
Adrian, yeah, you go
Yeah,
first.
Do I list all of my words in one big go?
Yes, you do.
Yeah.
Alright. Shamel.
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 Spell it.
Shamal.
Okay. Shamel.
Yeah.
Alright. Subhumination.
Subhumination.
Yep.
Very good. I won't ask for a spelling, it's okay.
Alright.
Carry on.
Exsanguine.
Yeah.
Exsanguine.
Exsanguine.
Very good.
Exsanguine.
And then the last one. Alright.
Is that the word? Just breathing out? Is that the word?
Nope.
No?
Floxenorsin
Shamel is bullshit.
One more time.
Say it again.
Floxenorsin
Floxenorsin
Pilification.
Okay, that feels too long to be fake.
Do you take that one?
No, that feels too long to be fake. I don't think that's it. Yeah.
Fair enough.
Can you say all 4 again?
Alright, here we go. From the beginning. Shamel.
Shamel.
Exsanguine.
Exsanguine.
Subhumination.
Subhumination.
Floxenorsal helipification.
Can you say the last one 4 times in a row?
No.
Alright, I think Shamel's out.
I think it's the second one. What's the second one?
Subhumination.
Subhumination. I think it's subhumination.
Oh no. Exsanguine?
Oh, only you know the answer to this. I feel like,
Are you leaning subhumination or
Exsanguine's the thing.
yeah.
Yeah.
The other one.
Subhumination.
Yeah, I think it's subhumination. You think it's.
Shamel.
But before we go, I think we need to what is the exact wording I wrote for the scoring for this?
So you get...
A point for guessing.
Yeah.
On. Interesting.
I get a point for guessing.
No,
So if I-
so I think you get 3 points if you guess it incorrectly.
I think it's 3 points if we guess the incorrect word.
Yeah.
And if we
Yeah.
don't, then we don't get any points.
That's
Okay.
it. So
That's
you
fair.
know.
All right. What was the fake word?
The fake word was subhumination. Henry got it.
Whoa! So
Nice.
Henry's on 2.5.
So
I'm on 2.5.
Shamel
Yeah, what's the Shamel?
is a hot, dry northwesterly wind blowing across the Persian Gulf in summer, typically causing sandstorms.
How could I have forgotten?
Of course. right?
Exsanguine. What does that mean, Mitch?
Out of the blood?
Yeah, bloodless
Oh, not
/
bad.
anemic.
Not bad.
Yeah.
Floxenorsal helipilification, the action or habit
So
of
good.
estimating something as worthless. So we're going a bit of the
Whoa.
psychology aspect.
That's not bad. That's fine. That's fine. That's not
Fox
bad
and
at all.
also health of
Floxenorsal helipilification.
All right. I will cop my.
Sounds quite atrocious.
I'll take my 3 points for that. Mitch, you're up.
Solid. Moraine.
Meringue.
Moraine.
Meringue.
I love meringue.
I love meringue
Jaya.
too. Jaya.
Viscula.
Viscula.
Viscula. I think that's it.
Petrichor.
Oh no! He spelled us a petrichor.
Alright, what are they again?
say it again.
Petrichor.
Petrichor.
Moraine.
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 Yep.
Okay.
Jaya.
Jaya.
G for golf. Y.
Sure.
No, I don't care about that.
Viscula.
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 I think viscula
You think
is the
viscula's
fake
wrong?
word because
And
vascular is
petrichor.
definitely a word. But I wonder if you've
What was the
changed
first
one
one?
letter
What was
from
the
a
first one you
real
said?
word.
Petrichor.
See, I don't think it's Gaia, but that's because I'm. But then he just spelt it, and the guy I was thinking of is not the guy he just spelt,
Oh no.
right? Because I'm thinking Gaia is in one Earth, right? But pronounced a bit differently.
I don't know.
Like G-A-I-A.
Yeah, GIA, right? Yeah.
How big was his name? No.
Okay, I'm gonna. I'm going to say Gaia just because he spelled it differently.
So you're saying Gaia, and I said the one that I said.
Which
What
was...
did you say?
I can't remember.
Name all 5. Name all 4, sorry.
4. Moraine, Gaia, Viscula, and Petrichor.
No,
One was Viscula.
I take it back. I think it's Moraine.
Alright.
I think he said it first.
So Moraine
just to
and
throw us
Viscula.
off the track. Because he knows I love Pavlova.
What's the fake
Right.
one?
The fake one is Viscula.
Yes!
Very nicely done, Adrian.
Whoa! 3 points for A.
3 points for Adrian.
Am I in positive yet?
You're sitting on 0.
Yeah!
Get
Oh,
amongst
not quite
it.
positive.
Alright.
So Moraine is like a glacial accretion of gravel.
Okay.
Yeah, cool, and ice. Gaia is an oceanic pattern of a circulating sea current that doesn't escape itself.
Sure.
Famous for the Sargasso Sea. Check it out, ladies and gents. Viscula is bollocks, and Petrichor is the smell of rain.
Oh,
Of course.
I love that smell.
Yeah.
Of course.
So Petrichor and don't quote me, but maybe Streptomyces griseus. There's a bacteria in soil that has this amazing.
That's
smell
the
when you
made-up
get
word.
It wet. No. That's the real thing.
That's it.
Alright, Henry.
Alright, so for those of you that may be somehow listening to this episode outside of Australia because we are
Jesus, we're sorry.
because we are so good at
We're not all like this.
No, we're not. There was a pyrocumulonimbus that hit us a while back. A cloud formed by essentially
Fire.
forest fires.
Yeah, fire.
Because
Fire
of our
cloud.
situation. That's not one of the words.
This
That
is
was just-
wacky words, right? Okay, yeah, cool.
Yeah, that wasn't one of the words. That was just in honor of our country burning to a crisp.
Pyrocumulonimbus.
I have here 4 words that are recognized by the World Meteorological Organization as
Except for one, presumably.
Sure, except for one that are either
Which you pulled out of your...
us, if you will, as informal terms related to free connective cloud types and storms, or just cloud types and storms. One of these words is not real, and I will say all 3 of these real cloud types and one fake cloud type to you right now.
Cloud type words.
Here's the
Okay.
first one. So here's here's the 4, just like one by one. Cumulus sublatus. Sorry, let me try that again. Cumulus sublatus anchorus. That's one. Cumulus humulus. That's 2.
Cumulus.
Humulus, if you will. Cumulonimbus mama. That's 3. I'll say that one again. Cumulonimbus. Sorry. God, he's done, isn't he? He's gone for
He's
it.
always so bad.
Cumulonimbus mama.
Mama!
That's the 3. That's the 3rd.
Mama!
And the 4th, hail fog.
The second one.
Those are your 4 terms.
Second one's bullshit.
Those are your 4 terms.
We're both going second
So I'll
one.
say them again. So
Oh,
we
hang on.
had-
No, because he would have bluffed and tried to throw us off.
So we have cumulus sublatus anchorus, cumulus humulus, cumulonimbus
First one's
mama,
bullshit. First one's
and
bullshit.
I think
hail-
cumulus.
and hail fog.
First one's bullshit.
I'm going cumulus.
How does this work again? Do I get...
You don't get anything.
I get... no, hang on. I get 3 if...
No, you don't
No,
get
I don't get
anything.
anything. One of you get 3 if you're right.
Yes.
That's right.
That's absolutely it. Mitch is correct. Cumulus sublantus anchorus is a completely fake cloud
Knew
type.
it.
Sublantus anchorus is the Latin for anchor, but cumulus sublantus anchorus is not a real cloud type.
It's a Harry Potter spell.
Mitch, you get 3 points for that. You're sitting on +1 right now.
Whoa,
Congratulations.
in the positives.
I will explain the other ones though. Cumulus humulus is is a small, low, flattened early development cumulus.
Of course.
Cumulonimbus mama is a real cloud.
As is
It
tradition.
is a cumulonimbus with a pouch-like protrusion that comes from under a cloud base.
Man, meteorologists are starting fights.
And hail fog, it's a shallow surface layer of fog that sometimes forms in the vicinity of a deep hail accumulation.
Of course.
Yeah. Cumulus is
Next.
a fucking hilarious thing to
It's
say.
unbelievable.
And at the end of that, we have Adrian. You're sitting on 0. You broke even. Congratulations. Mitch is sitting on 1, and I am sitting on 2.5 to take us into this final round.
Wow.
I can still crush you in the final round because there's 2 points on offer.
Potentially.
And if you bollocks it, then
By bollocks it.
ah,
That's it.
amazing, thrilling. Join us again
dirty to it.
after the break for the thrilling conclusion.
I need to pee.
4.
This is it, gents. The first finale section of the first official episode of Science Under the Influence. And really, it's all to play for at this point.
Yeah.
We know.
I can take you, Henry.
Because we've done this numerous times, but the audience might not, so I will explain the premise of this last section. It is known as SUI. Each contestant has prepared a story from any time in scientific history, or it's absolutely false. And they will start by offering a singular statement to summarize its entirety. Now, after saying the one-line summary, the other two contestants must work together to evaluate the story's authenticity. They are both allowed to ask one question each to learn more about the story. However, they must agree on the questions being asked and then the ultimate decision on whether or not the story is true or false. When posed the two questions, the person who has provided the story must answer the questions as honestly and genuinely to their knowledge as possible. So, like, if the answer to the question is, I honestly don't have the answers for this question, that is genuinely the truthful response, because they didn't look into it properly. Now, 2 points will be given to the contestant. 2 points will be given each of the contestants that guess the authenticity of the story correctly. 2 points are given to the storyteller if the contestant guesses incorrectly. Rinse and repeat 3 times, right? So there's a chance that, especially in this game, anyone can catch up. Yeah. Adrian's sitting on 0, Mitch is sitting on 1, and I'm sitting on 2.5. This last section will determine who becomes the Science Under the Influence champion of episode 1. And with that in mind, I think the guest should go first.
Okay, that's me. Here we go. Head and neck injury risks in heavy metal. Head banging is bad for you.
I want you to say that one more time.
I'm just gonna lead with the end. Head banging is bad for you.
Now hang on. No. None of this. I'll give the second half of the statement bullshit. Say the whole sentence.
Head and neck injury risks in heavy metal. Head banging is bad for you.
Okay, Mitch. So, the first half is a very logical thing to say, right? Because when it comes to heavy metal, you will be banging your head back and forth, and that will lead to injury.
Will it?
I don't know whether take it that far.
If you do it enough times, you probably will injure yourself, right? Let's just hypothetically say that, right?
But you start with some gentle metal.
No, of course.
Yeah, it's not all
Oh, okay, because
hefty headbanging.
When I first heard this, I assumed, maybe incorrectly, that this was to live music.
Sure, okay, yeah,
right?
Yeah, that's a big assumption. What is our... We need to agree on a question though, right?
We need to agree on 2 questions.
Oh, 2 questions.
We have 2, one each.
Okay, so the first one would be, what was the exposure that they used? Was it live? Was it recorded? Did they get like a retrospective study with a bunch of metalheads?
I think we can word this nice so that it encompasses like more questions to ask him.
All right,
maybe
cool.
Maybe like something like assuming this was an investigation.
Yeah.
Explain further.
Well, there are the 2 questions. Okay, cool.
No, that's one question.
Oh,
I think assuming this was
I have
experiment.
2, but yeah.
Wait, what was yours going to be?
Saying like, what was the population that they studied? What was going on?
I see. Okay.
Was it live music?
Sure.
Was it recorded?
Let's go with mine first, just because that might answer your question.
Sweet. All right, cool. Okay,
all right.
Go.
Here's the first question.
Yes.
Assuming this was an investigation of some scientific proportion,
Maybe it is.
describe the procedure involved.
So, the speed and angle of headbanging was analysed.
Bullshit.
And then they analysed what effects that would have on the neck and head and brain and all that sort of thing.
Is that honestly all you have to say about this question?
That's all I got to say.
Because he's basically just like said what he's just said again. But
there's a guy called George
sentence.
Fisher who sings for his stage name is Corpse Grinder. We'll leave that to one side.
Okay.
But he sings for a band called Cannibal Corpse.
Oh, I love Cannibal Corpse.
Yeah, he's got a neck that is twice the width of his head.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just saying, repeat exposure to heavy metal might result in
Thick necks.
neck hypertrophy.
What's your question? Do you want the same question?
Yeah.
Still?
Mine is, what was the study population?
The population.
So who did they study to ascertain the risks of head banging?
So, I believe the study was in fact, they went to several metal concerts and looked at the speed, velocity, and the angle of these headbanging.
Oh, the old SF and A.
Exactly.
Correlations, yeah.
The SF and A. And that was it. So they sort of... I'm guessing there was not a huge sample population in terms of actual headbangings, but a large sample population of what requires or what a typical headbanging is.
Okay. What are your thoughts?
My hot take?
Yes?
It's all bullshit.
I agree with you. I think this is completely fake. So we're in agreement then.
We are in agreement.
We think this story, Adrian, is completely false.
Well, I hate to tell you,
What?
but
No!
head and neck injury risks in heavy metal headbangers stuck between rock and a hard bass. Research from 2008
What the fuck
in
is
Australia.
this?
Objective to investigate the
been
risks of
stitched
mild
up.
traumatic brain injury and neck injury associated with headbanging, a popular dance from accompanying heavy metal music.
Please tell us.
Participants,
Tell us more!
headbangers. Result, an average
the
headbanging
front
song
door.
has a tempo of
Headbanging
146
song.
beats per minute, which is predicted to cause mild head injury when the range of motion is greater than 75 degrees.
I love how they've defined this!
Get my protractor out!
At higher tempos and greater ranges of motion, there is a risk of neck injury. So to minimize the risk of head and neck injury, headbangers should decrease their range of head and neck motion.
Or, flex, just go to a Billie Eilish concert.
True. You're going very slowly.
Wow, I can't believe we've just given Adrian 2 points like that.
2 points. 2 points for you.
He's
Also, other advice, only headbang to every second beat.
Okay, alright, cool. Yeah. That wouldn't make you look like an absolute...
No, it would.
Yeah, no, you'd be fine.
Yeah, that's
That'd be
it.
great.
Yeah.
I tell you what, you'd probably make friends. That's what I think, Henry.
Probably because they think
You'd
that.
make friends.
Probably because they think that you're having a stroke, and they're like, "Oh,
Yeah,
you're
they'd be
okay."
like, can we please help? Clearly something is deeply wrong. Every second beat. Maybe you could get into a headbang polyrhythm.
Maybe.
Chucking a cheeky 5/4 over whatever. Yeah, amazing.
A little paradiddle.
Mitch,
Little neck paradiddle.
right now,
That's the name of the episode.
right now, Adrian's in front of you. He is.
I'm upset.
Do you have a statement
I'm
to
upset.
throw
I
me
do.
and Adrian's way, or Adrian eyes, if you will, rather? Because grammar
This-
exists.
Ancient tree is virtually immortal.
That's it. That's
And now
That
we
was more.
understand.
Virtually
how.
immortal ancient tree.
No, but now we understand how. That was the second half. It was this ancient tree is virtually immortal, and now we understand how.
Ooh.
Okay. I think surely.
It sounds kind of...
I've got a question.
No, no,
I'm not even going to back you
BuzzFeed,
up.
pass it by me first.
No, I just want to ask.
No, hang on now. You're not in the league yet. Still,
All right.
Be careful
No,
about
I don't care. How?
Take it out. How? What?
That's one
That's
question.
the
your whole
question.
question.
That's what I agree with
How?
that. That is
Now
one
we
question.
understand
How?
Hang on.
How?
Wait.
Oh, there we go. He's speaking the rest of it. He's ready. He's ready to bullshit and shut up for us. Here we go.
By studying the cambium.
Oh, that's lame. Come
That's
on. You gotta give us
None
more
of
than
this
just...
by studying
by
the
studying.
cambium bullshit.
Of course they worked it out by studying.
And you're gonna give us.
cambium.
And you're gonna give us no more than that?
Nah. You can f*** off.
No. The entire premise of the segment is you tell us all you know.
Oh, okay.
Alright, well, you've got to
Yeah.
ask a follow-up question.
No. The entire premise of the section is he tells us all he knows. So he has to go further right now. He has to for the
Do you know any more of how?
What is the cambium even? That's not my question. That's something I feel like you should answer. when you
Cambium is
say
the
it.
layer between the bark and the actual rich sort of heartwood of the tree that contains a lot of the
fact that he knows this is
stem
annoying.
Oh, I knew that.
cells. Yeah, and those are the ones that are responsible largely for the growth, which is increasingly thin layers of this particular tree that I may or may not have made up.
Can you
We'll be
please
talking
state
about.
the original statement again?
What?
You have to.
These ancient trees may actually be immortal. We finally know how.
Okay.
We finally
Okay.
understand.
Do you have a good question?
I think my question should be, what kind of trees are they?
That's
Yes.
a pretty basic, fundamental question, though.
How did because me saying how do they know? He's just gonna say the cambium again because he's a dick.
You
right?
could say,
So-
what does the cambion do?
No, because he's already explained that the cambion is the part.
He hasn't said what the cambion does. I'm like...
What if we ask?
Very specifically, what does the cambion
No,
do?
no, that's not the question. What if we ask when this happened?
Like the study?
Yeah, like when the study happened.
Oh, but he could just make it up very easy.
He really could.
It's hard for him to make up why it actually is true. What about this? Why does the tree live forever? Why does the tree live forever?
Okay, let's go with that. I'm happy with that.
You happy with that?
Why? Why,
Yeah.
Mitch,
Yeah.
does the tree live forever? Why is it considered immortal
The cambium.
by these scientific people?
Because the
Because.
cambium is the layer that governs most of the growth in the tree. And it's found in this particular tree to be so efficient and so adept at causing growth and removing waste. Doesn't show any of the signs of aging that are typical of any other living organism. It's effectively immortal.
True.
I think we've asked the wrong question.
I think it's true.
I think we should have asked, like, what happens if a bushfire hits it,
Oh no.
right? Like, and genuinely, because, like, then it would be like, will that still survive?
But the answer
Yeah,
would
If
be
only you
yes.
got more than 2 questions.
We have to
Henry.
agree on the same on the same answer here.
Do we?
We do.
True.
I have to agree with you on that.
Do you?
I don't know.
Come on, agree.
He's
with
referenced the cambium twice. He's used that as an answer for both.
But he knows what the
questions.
cambium is, and honestly, I wouldn't know that unless I googled it.
I don't think I have enough evidence to convince you that it might be false, because I don't have that evidence myself either. So I will back you on this.
You're going with
we
me?
both think this is true, Mitch.
True.
Are we right?
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah, did it. Which means I get 2 and Adrian gets 2. What a
They're ginkgo trees. Just
What
for
does that
fun.
mean?
Ginkgo. They're like a maidenhair fern, but a tree.
Okay.
Yeah. And they're effectively immortal. Some of them are 3,000 years old. 3,000 for a tree. Unbelievable.
You know, we were teetering with
Australia didn't exist. You know what did? Ginkgo.
You know, we were
America. Not a thing.
we
You
were
know what it was?
what, Mitch?
They can't guess.
Ginkgo?
It was ginkgo.
So you know what? I've heard that
What about Germany?
I've heard that crocodiles have a similar feature.
Yeah, right.
You know,
I don't know if it's true.
Do they have a cambium?
No, apparently I've heard that crocodiles don't die from old age. They die from other things.
You know, we
Being eaten.
So
Shot
being
in the
eaten-
face.
Exactly. So, but also here's an article saying
the
no.
old shot in the face. That's
Crocodiles are
terrible.
not immortal. So what
Yeah,
I've
right.
heard might be entirely wrong.
Boo.
We
I
were-
heard lobsters are immortal. Adrian, is that true or false?
They're delicious.
they are delicious.
So not
that's
not
the
in my
question.
vicinity.
Sorry, all vegetarians out there, but they are very good.
Not immortal when Adrian's present.
You know, we were teetering on making this episode explicit or not until you said
Oh,
fuck
it's
like 4
definitely,
times
yeah. I'm
in
happy
one
to-
sentence.
Happy to beep it out for the red. You know what? Seriously, and get ready for the beeps, ladies and gents. Fucking ginkgo. Unbelievable. This tree, dope as fuck. It doesn't
Okay.
give a shit.
I just want to add, this article says that all the stories of crocodiles living forever is entirely untrue.
What about lobsters? I need to
Lobsters?
know.
I don't know about lobsters.
Alright, here's my sentence. Y'all f***ers ready for this? We dropped the F-bomb already. Mitch dropped it 5 times in the last 2 minutes. Y'all f***ers ready for this? Are you actually gonna be editing this? Or
Yeah,
are we just
yeah.
gonna drop it as explicit?
No, I'm gonna edit it.
Really? So we're gonna drop it as PG, but
I'll
like...
try.
Okay.
All right, Henry, what's the story?
I'll try.
Fuckity fuck. Fuck. Ready?
Yes.
Born ready.
When tinkering with flying machine designs, Leonardo da Vinci would unethically replace wings from a real bird with his inventions for testing.
Oh.
True.
You reckon?
But I'm gonna ask some questions.
Oh gosh.
Yeah.
So he
I think it's true.
would take birds and replace them with his own wing designs.
Because Da Vinci didn't give AF. He was one of the first originators of anatomy as a discipline. Because he was one of the only people who had enough big bottle, to dissect. Shut up, Henry. To dissect dead bodies.
You know,
By himself.
have a question each.
We do.
I know, we do. What's your question?
I need to think a little bit more. Do you have a
Okay.
question?
Oh, man.
So the birds
Okay.
that had body parts replaced.
Okay.
What body parts were replaced?
It's the
and
wings,
how did he
obviously.
design
No,
them?
don't.
How
don't
did he
take that.
design them?
Okay, is that your question?
Just say, what were the birds? Which birds?
No, but he doesn't know.
No, if he doesn't know, then it's a fucking lie. No, it's... Sorry. Pete. Which birds? Which kind of birds did he get?
Is that your question?
That's Mitch's question.
That's Mitch's question?
No.
Okay, it's my question, sure.
Okay. Which birds they get?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, this is an article from Da Vinci's Codex on the Flight of Birds. The example that he used there was the Great Kite, and he actually made a gliding machine that was tested first on smaller birds to scale. He used kites as the birds' kites, not like the...
He strung them up next to a kite.
Sure. I have the quote here. An object offers as much resistance to the air as the air does to the object. You may see that the... what is this word? Beauty of its wings against the air supports a heavy eagle in the highest and rarest atmosphere. From these instances and the reasons given, a man with wings large enough and duly connected might have to overcome the resistance of the air rising above it.
This is a lot of effort that might have gone into a lie.
Was the audience listening?
No.
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 Little bit.
All right. Do you have a question?
You're gonna throw Adrian's
I'm gonna throw my
question to the
question.
audience? That's your question.
No, that was Adrian's
That
question.
is not a good idea.
Cheating.
No, my question. That's not
I
cheating.
said kinda. That doesn't mean I was listening to all of it.
The audience was not listening to all of it.
Okay.
We're making our guesses, but they're silent.
Yeah.
Silent guess.
Was this...
Exactly.
Alright, so you said kites, right?
This is just one example from the Codex on the Flight
Which
of
are
Birds.
and bird.
I think a question could be, were there any other flying devices other than kites? Because Da Vinci designed a lot.
He did. I've actually seen one of these codexes in person.
Okay.
It's a moving experience.
So,
Yeah.
What's the question?
Was it flying?
Museum exhibition? No. They did have a replica of his gyroscope, though.
I don't know what
Like
that is.
gyrocopter. So he was one of the first people to design a rudimentary helicopter.
He was. It
Wouldn't have flown. Doesn't matter.
what's the question?
Audience?
I think they're...
They're out of it.
Now, we're making our guesses not based off of what you guys are saying, but based
How
on
well we know you.
how well we know
The
him
audience is
as
making
a
their guesses
person.
based on how well they know
Yeah.
me as a
I've got a
person.
question. Did you make this up?
Now, answer truthfully.
Ask that.
What is your question?
Bullshit?
Mitch?
No. What?
I
No,
think
no.
It's up to you.
One of you has to ask me a question. You've asked one question, you have one more question to ask me. This is a real silence. You're not on buffering right now if you're listening. Both gentlemen are thinking about a question to ask.
Genuine silence.
This is genuine silence.
I feel like I
they're
co-opted
thinking
yours.
about it.
Adrian, do you want to go for another one?
Oh, God. Did they fly well?
Is that the question?
That's my question.
Is that actually the question?
Did they fly well?
Well.
Of course they f***ing didn't fly well. I can't believe that's your question.
Do
they
you know the answer to
they
that, or
took-
are you just saying?
They took the wings off a kite and replaced it with wooden wings to see if it flied
You said
well.
it was a kite before.
I still said it was a kite. I
You just said
replaced
it was they replaced wings with wooden wings, and now it's a kite.
No, the bird, the kite.
Bird's called a kite.
The bird's called a kite.
What?
Yeah.
Adrian just woke up. For those of you playing at home, Adrian just figured out what's going on.
The reason I had to start. Adrian's just collapsed. He's back. He's back.
chair.
He's okay.
It's a knockout.
I'll even give you some more information. Da Vinci tested an original flying machine on a mountain, Moncerceri in Tuscany, with one of his apprentices.
Tuscany.
And the apprentice...
Tuscany.
Tuscany.
It's a lie.
Tuscany. Fuck. The apprentice fell over and broke his leg, so at that point he was like, alright, let's try it on birds. But of course it wouldn't work the same, because you've just removed a wing from a bird and replaced it
I
with
feel
a
like it's
wooden
gotta be true.
apparatus.
I feel
Of
like it's
course
gotta
the
be
bird's
true.
not gonna fly.
This is such extreme detail.
Holy shit.
You know what?
Yeah? Throwing a pencil.
This is silence. This is genuine silence.
Might.
You guys need to agree on
Do
this.
you agree or disagree?
I need to agree on this.
Are you saying it's true?
I think it's true, but we've got to agree.
Yeah, alright, that's true.
You both think it's true?
Yeah, apparently.
Okay. This is an absolutely made-up story. I just
Wow.
at your faces. I want to give a shout out to my good friend Joel for helping me come up with this statement.
Joel!
And I completely ran with it from the get-go. There is no official record of Da Vinci unethically and immorally breaking birds' wings in an attempt to come up with a flying invention. However, the Great Kite is a real invention of his, and that quote I gave you was a real quote he gave, but not to do with the story itself.
I'm so mad.
Boy will take 2 points
So
for his own. Woo! Did it!
So angry.
And that brings us to the end of our show. My goodness, I cannot believe that just like the very first Process Diary video, your boy has come out on top on this.
Oh no!
I know!
False humility.
He's only gone and done it. He's only gone and done it. We have Mitch sitting on +1. We have Adrian sitting on +4.
I'm in the positive!
Woo! And Henry is sitting on +6.5. This might be the one and only time Henry has won this episode, purely because you guys overthought the very first 2 headlines you were offered, and I wasn't so gone that I couldn't unsuccessfully explain my thing about cuttlefish and 3D glasses.
Incredible.
Incredible.
Would have had you.
That's it. Well,
that's how it goes in the bad mean streets of science under the influence.
Bad mainstream science under the influence. That brings us to the end of our first official show.
Yeah.
I can't believe we're here. This is
good time.
This has been 7-month-long journey, of which Adrian has been a part of so much, and
I appreciate you having me here for
now. Honestly, from
one episode,
from the bottom of me and Mitch's hearts, thank you
so much.
Thank you for being part of this for so much of it, and we cannot think of anyone better to be here as the guest for the first official episode. We're done. Henry's taken it out.
Nice.
This is a sentence you will never hear me say ever again for the rest of the season, I don't think.
So if you enjoyed the show, we are going to be available on the Twitters.
On the Twitters, not just that, but we're going to try and push for Spotify, maybe iTunes. We'll think
No, we'll be
about
on
it.
iTunes.
We'll be on iTunes.
Everything. Yeah,
All right.
We'll be hosted everywhere. So everywhere that you usually pick up your quality podcasts, we're going to be mirrored too. So it's Science Under the Influence, SUI for short.
That's it.
We're going to be pushing this out as soon as we can. And we will be aiming to release this around monthly.
Yeah, we'll try our
Let's call
best.
it monthly.
We'll try our best.
And for the next one, we will have a shiny new guest for you.
That's
no
it.
offense, Adrian.
It's okay.
And another audience, which will have varying degrees of will to participate.
That's absolutely it.
Yeah, which is usually a good way that it goes. And thank you for so much.
That's it. Thank you.
Thank you for so much.
Thank you for so
Thank
much.
you for so much, audience. Thank you for so much. And Waddles, you're a f***ing share. The best. The best. Somebody needs to super glue shit onto Squid. You're a f***ing legend. Don't listen to him. Your parents were like, leave the Squid alone. You're like, just one more. Just one more goggle. You're a f***ing hero.
For those
Science is dope. Get amongst it. Henry, take us home.
For those who have been helping us out from the start, we're incredibly grateful and very thankful. For those who have helped us along the way with our process diaries, we thank you so much. We could not be here right now without you guys.
Yep.
Thank you for listening very much. Caitlin, Joel, Adrian. Thank you so much, guys.
Champs. Thank you so much.
I look forward to seeing where we go with this. On behalf of Mitch, my name is Henry. I've been here with Adrian. Thank you so much, guys. We'll see you next time on Science Under the Influence.